Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, on point reviews all day, every day. Welcome back yet again, everybody. If you are one of my old subscribers, it's great to see you guys yet again. It's TGIF, it's Friday, guys. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to the weekend. As for me, I'm going back to work this weekend. That's why I made 3 videos, because I'm going back to work, unfortunately. But before I do that, I'm going to make another video on a fragrance I'm sure a lot of y'all want to hear about. Now, this fragrance comes from the house of EBK Paris, guys, and this is a very enigmatic brand. Okay, it's a real enigma, this brand, because guys, the only way you can order their perfumes is actually through Instagram. So there's no add to cart or checkout. They have no links to say Lucky Scent, any of these big like niche fragrance sellers right here. You gotta hit them on Instagram, and that's one of the most interesting things. This fragrance house is also based in Paris, guys, okay? And what was the last one that I talked about that was based in Paris? A new house, BDK, right? BDK, I did a review on Gris Charnel. I totally love that. That was another French house, new French house that came up, and I really don't know what's up with those letters. BDK, EBK, I don't know what those mean, okay? If any of y'all want to let me know what BDK or EBK means, that would be great. But anyways, EBK Paris, very enigmatic brand. I tried contacting them for the past couple of months, and actually I wasn't able to. I tried messaging them on Facebook and Instagram. I got like messages here and there, and I think it's just because at this point their DMs are blowing up. And basically right now is when they contacted me, when I tagged them on the video and I said I was gonna make a video on Ruby and Vanilla Intense, their top seller, and they probably saw my channel and they said, oh, there's a lot of views on this one. Now they finally answered me. Now at that time though, when I couldn't contact them, what I did was I took matters in my own hands and I got myself a discovery set via the gray market. So shout outs to my friend Joseph, who sold me this beautiful EBK discovery set, and he actually included the Dubai exclusive. Thank you so much, Joseph, for this one right here. Joseph also added a lot of extra goodies, some extra Perfume vials of fragrances that he's pretty passionate about. So we're gonna bring them out on this channel as well. Now, the fragrance that we are going to talk about today is the top seller of EBK. No doubt. We're gonna start up with this one. I know that some of my friends like the other perfumes, but this one right here, this is the one that caught my attention. This is a fragrance that is a hit, in my opinion, outside of YouTube. A lot of people, and I'm not just talking about some random dudes, a lot of people in the fragrance community are considering this one of the best fragrances, one of the best pickups they've ever made, one of the best vanilla fragrances, guys. And when I heard that, my radar my radar was just completely going off, and I had to get one of these. And this fragrance is none other than EBK Parfum's Ruby and Vanilla Intense. So this fragrance right here comes in this beautiful ruby red bottle, okay? This is the 100 ml bottle that you see here on the photo. This bottle is around $320, guys. And I believe they have a small one too, okay? They have a small like 15 ml or 10 ml sized bottle, but this is $320. Couple things we're going to debunk. Number one, is it really a great fragrance? Is it really one of the best? What's it about? Why do people love this fragrance? Number two, is it a very, very good vanilla fragrance? Because actually prior to reviewing EBK Ruby and Vanilla Intense, I was gonna do another video on a top vanilla. A vanilla that a lot of people, top reviewers, are saying is the top vanilla, but this one came first, so I was like, oh, let's do this one first. And number three, is this femme? Okay, so there are some people saying that this fragrance leans femme, so I'm going to answer that today as well. But before we continue, as always, guys, let's go spray this right now. Oh man, wow. So the first thing I want to say about EBK Ruby and Vanilla Intense is that the start is impactful. It's an impactful opening, guys. If you're like me and you like impactful openings, because for me, first impressions is more important than having like the latter impression. You know, like if you walk in a door and you're going to a party, you're going to any social gathering, you're meeting people for the first time, guys, or you're meeting important people, I think first impression is really, really important. You gotta hit them right from the beginning with that amazing scent trail, guys, okay? And I would say Ruby and Vanilla Intense does that very, very well. Right from the get-go, you are going to get a strong opening salvo of some real natural smelling and not super sweet vanilla. I would say like an elegant vanilla. And elegant is a word you're gonna hear me say a lot during this entire video, but it's like a very elegant vanilla that comes out real nice. I think that this is why a lot of people say this is their favorite vanilla fragrance, because it's actually an intense vanilla, care of Vanilla Absolute. Now there are a couple of notes here that go with that Vanilla Absolute here in the opening, and that's your Sicilian Mandarin and your Bergamot, guys, okay? And when you hear about these notes, you guys are probably thinking about your spring and summer perfumes, right? And you're probably thinking about, oh, you know, these are the notes that are supposed to be bright and outdoorsy with your Sicilian Mandarin and your Bergamot. Actually, the Bergamot here, guys, I've mentioned before, to me, it's a non-bright citrus note that, in my opinion, sets up something elegant. You've heard me say this many times before. And the Bergamot and the Sicilian Mandarin paired together, guys, are basically your glistening notes. And in my opinion, these two plus the vanilla sets up this very elegant and, you know, highly appealing start. It's a very appealing start that to me makes me think about the Ruby Stone. I would say that there are only a few Ruby themed fragrances out there. One of them I really want to try. It's Ruby Kona by Pure Distance. I really want to try that, and they did mention, hey, you know, this fragrance is inspired by the Ruby Stone. This one does as well, but I think this one nails it, because when you think about the Ruby Stone, right, that red Ruby Stone, you're thinking about something romantic, sensual, elegant, right? And that's basically the start with that vanilla. It's very romantic, comforting, but then just like the stone, you're gonna get these little sparkles, these little glistening sparkles right here, guys. And that's what the Bergamot and Mandarin like provide, basically. So as you are smelling this blanket of lovely vanilla, you're gonna get these little, you know, glistening sparks of that, you know, citruses, you know, the Mandarin, and it's absolutely lovely. I would say that the combination of these notes are not really made for a fade to black scenario, like a warming scenario, but for an impactful scenario, because as people are around you smelling this, not only are they going to get hit by that real sweet vanilla, but they are going to get hit by those glistening notes, I believe. And there's sort of like the slight wake up in this fragrance, and I think it's going to perk people up around you. Now, another good thing about this fragrance, man, there's a lot of good things about this fragrance, but definitely this fragrance right here has long stages, okay? There's long stages for each, okay? Usually when I talk about my perfumes, some of the perfumes I've reviewed, the top notes are gone within 45 minutes to an hour. In this case, guys, this first part, this impactful vanilla and citrus part, lasts maybe 2 hours, 2 hours and 30. Like, it actually lasts for a while, guys, okay? And that's a plus, because now this impactful start you can enjoy in a lot of social scenarios. You can go to your dates, you can go to your awards, you can go to your social gatherings, soirees, parties, and you can walk around the room and hit everybody with this amazing opening part for about 2 hours, okay? So it takes that long before the top notes sort of like wear off, okay? And it's that ruby feel, like I said. Now, going to the mid after a couple hours, maybe 2 hours and 30 minutes, guys, in comes your almond. And this was a concern of mine because really almond is a tricky note. Sometimes they use bitter almond in fragrances and it kind of alters the feel, the flow of this fragrance. And some, you know, use a lactonic almond, and maybe that will work with some gourmand fragrances. I've smelled some perfumes where that lactonic almond is kind of like off. I'm not going to mention which fragrance, but this right here was a concern of mine. And we get a smooth almond here, guys. Okay, so this is really great. You've got a smooth, sweet almond, not bitter, not lactonic, that just comes in and blends with the vanilla about 2 hours in, guys. And if you like this sweet, smooth almond, you're gonna like this part right here, guys, okay? Now, the next highlight right here with EBK Ruby and Vanilla Intense are your velvety notes. That's right, okay? On paper, it says velvety notes, and it comes in pretty much after that almond. And this part right here, I would say, lasts and lasts. Like I said, it's a long stage, probably another 3 to 4 hours as you're wearing this, guys. Now, the velvety notes, you know, they're not breaking it down, not even on paper, but in my opinion, and I cross-matched this with another huge EBK collector, my friend Eli, and I believe, just like him, that the velvety notes are comprised of rose, iris, as well as patchouli. As you are smelling this fragrance, guys, as the mandarin and the bergamot slowly wear off and you're left with that vanilla almond combination, in comes the velvety powdery part, and it's quite powdery, but it's a comforting powdery. And I guess it's already set up by the vanilla in the beginning, but then you've got a very prominent powdery iris with that sensual rose. So they do continue the trend of the red ruby type of picture in your head with the rose, okay? That velvet is so nice. It's so comforting. And then you're gonna have this candied smell, okay? It's sort of like a candy smell. And in my opinion, when I first smelled it, I thought it was violet, but then when I talked to Eli was like, well, maybe it's iris, you know, because it kind of hits both your powdery side and then your violet, you know, type of smell. And that's the candy part to me. So you are going to experience this nice warming powdery part with a little bit of candy, again continuing the ruby trend. Now, speaking of the ruby, guys, what's the other fragrance, guys, that has this ruby feel? Think about it. Which fragrance smells like crushed rubies? That's right, it's Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait. Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait does not smell like Ruby and Vanilla Intense, but trust me, guys, when I say, when you spray Ruby and Vanilla Intense, because of that ruby feel, guys, it doesn't take, you know, a genius or a rocket scientist to feel that you have this Baccarat feel. You know what I mean? That is this, it's a Baccarat vibe, Baccarat Extrait, crushed rubies type of vibe. And I think that's also why a lot of people like this fragrance. As you guys know, Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait is a hit, okay? Even the clones are hits, okay? Because you've got a great performer and you've got just the right amount of sweetness in that fragrance, in my opinion. So I would say EBK's Ruby and Vanilla Intense, guys, is on the same vein in the sense that you have this elegant, romantic, sweet fragrance that performs like crazy. So, you know, you will have sort of like the similar feel, but I would say that EBK's Ruby and Vanilla Intense is a little bit different because I think from the mid to dry, it's got its own thing. Now, the big question about this fragrance is that, is this a feminine fragrance? So first things first, I'm gonna say this. If you're a girl, this is a no-brainer. No-brainer. I recommend it 100% to all the ladies to try and buy this fragrance because this is a killer. The opening salvo is very impactful. It's very elegant. I mean, I can think of a million ways women can wear this fragrance and really make an impact. I think even if you go to work, I mean, you're gonna smell so damn good. You're gonna fill the room. Ultimately, this fragrance is so like romantic and attractive, you know? If you're a girl and you're after a guy or there's a guy that you kind of like, man, this might sway things to your favor right here because there's a draw-in quality, but then it's also like strong. It's a strong performer, and then it sort of reels people in because of that sweetness. For the ladies, 100%. You guys gotta try this one. Now for the guys, here's the interesting part. As I tried this fragrance in the beginning, my first notion was like, oh, this is sort of like a femme-leaning fragrance. But actually, guys, I would say that from the mid to the dry down, is pretty unisex, or you could even say it's great for guys. I would say that the velvety part of this fragrance plus your vanilla and almond, I mean, it definitely suits the guys as well, okay? You've got the lovely rose, you've got patchouli. I think it's very unisex from the mid to the dry down. The first part of this fragrance, I would say it could lean more femme, but once the mid hits, I think is definitely unisex. I think the guys can pull this off. And again, performance-wise, this is gonna catch a lot of compliments around you without a doubt because of that sweetness and that performance. And then you've got ambergris, you've got gaiac wood. I would say that the gaiac wood provides a little bit of smokiness, but not really a lot. I mean, definitely I would say that the powdery nature of Ruby and Vanilla Intense from the mid to the dry lasts more, or it's actually more prominent than the gaiac wood. Now, do I recommend this fragrance? Hell yeah. Okay, I really do recommend this fragrance because to me this one here is an upscale grabber for both men and women. Okay, and when I look at fragrances, I mean, if I'm spending $250, $320, if I'm spending that amount, it has to be upscale. It has to be an upscale fragrance, but I can actually grab it. I can wear it. It's not a rarity that I don't really grab. It's something that I can grab whenever I want, and that's what this is. It's something you can wear from just getting people getting people with your scent trail on normal events all the way up to formal. Okay, and when you see something like that, it's an absolute must buy in my opinion, guys. And the only way that you probably won't like this is if you're not into vanilla, you're not into ruby red smelling fragrances, you're not into baccarat maybe, but it's still worth a try, guys. Okay, because I think that this fragrance satisfies a lot of things that the community is looking for, you know, impactful start, great performance, sweet, compliment getting, elegant, rich smelling, all of those things. I think this fragrance satisfies. So it's a must try and it's a must buy. Now, in terms of the weather, I know that these types of fragrances are usually for winter, you know, but no, this one here is wearable, I think, for AC environments as well. Cool nights, date night, you know, I think this will definitely work out because I told you guys the intro of this fragrance is not an immediate fade to black. You've got the glistening ruby notes, you have the candied violet-ish notes right there at the mid. So I don't think this is a fade to black type of perfume where it's like immediately comforting. I think that you can wear this anytime you want, and that is yet again another plus from this fragrance. Performance wise, guys, it's 8 hours plus. Okay, and I'm talking about a consistent sillage around you. I think a lot of people are getting this performance thing wrong. Some people will say that a fragrance lasts 8 hours, but let's say the last 4 hours is just the skin scent dry down. No, I don't consider that, okay? At least for me, okay? When I review and I say, wow, 8 hours, I literally mean 8 hours the fragrance is still around you, okay? It's not just some skin scent right here. To me, this fragrance definitely 8 hours because of the long stages of each, okay? You've got almost like 2 hours here on the first part, and then your mid is probably 3 to 4 hours up, and then the dry down is like further down the road. Performance wise, this is pretty great. Consistent sillage, scent trail, everything. This is an A++ fragrance. I guess that's it. That debunks it, guys. Okay, so the hype is real on EBK Parfums Ruby and Vanilla Intense, that's for sure. And hopefully you guys can order it through their Instagram. Here's a hint. The person I talked to there was Anna. Shout outs to Anna for taking my inquiry. So I guess if you look for Anna, she's probably gonna answer you guys. But yeah, what an enigmatic brand, guys. Okay, and I do have the entire sample set plus the Dubai exclusive from EBK, and I recently got in touch with them, so it's gonna be interesting to review the rest of the lot, guys, so stand by for that. But definitely I would say the most famous one that was popularized by Fragcom is truly worth the hype. Let me know in the comments below what you guys and gals think of this fragrance. Have you purchased this fragrance? Do you own this? Did you fall for the hype? What do you guys think of this fragrance right here? Let me know in the comments. And I will be doing a lot more videos once I get my days off, guys, so make sure to hit like and subscribe. because we've got a lot of the 2021 releases on this channel. I recently did Toba Color, and then we did the Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, and I've got probably 10 more fragrances, all 2021, lined up for this channel. Some are coming out before the fragrance releases. Until then, this is Troy D. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and being here on this channel. I'll see you on the next video. God bless. Have a great weekend. Peace.